Adolescence is a stage that takes place from around age 12 all the way up to about 25. The series of brain changes that takes place during this time lead to some pretty serious implications in terms of adolescent behavior and how they navigate the world. Two of these effects are increased stress levels and increased physical danger. Now, a positive side effect of these brain changes is an enhanced sense of creativity and thinking outside of the box. We're going to cover these three effects of adolescence in this video. Let's take a closer look. One of the effects of all of the changes happening in the adolescent brain is an increased feeling of stress. In fact, adolescents will feel more stress than any other age group out there. This is because the brain chemistry during adolescence makes them more susceptible to all chemicals and hormones. So cortisol is a stress hormone. When it's released, they're going to feel it in an exaggerated way. Perhaps you've noticed when maybe there's something teeny tiny that's a little bit off happens. Sometimes adolescents will just go over the top and they act like they're being melodramatic. They're just blowing the top. They're acting like they're stressed. And perhaps as an adult, we're thinking, you really don't need to be that stressed right now. Maybe you can even imagine yourself saying something like that, like, hey, calm down, this really isn't a big deal. So I'm here to tell you, adults, that you need to stop that, because remember, the amygdala is mature. If anything triggers the adolescent, they are going to feel that emotion in a huge way. If that emotion leads to something negative or a stressful event, they will then feel more stressed than you would as an adult. They do not have the reasoning skills to work through that. So when they act as if they're over the top stressed, that is actually a true thing. They are not making up that emotion. It is something that we need to work with. And adolescents, if you're watching this, all of that is valid that you are feeling. Okay, on the other hand, they will feel highs in a higher way as well. So the happiness hormones that we have, that you hear about, they will feel those in really expanded ways as well. So what this means is that they will experience higher highs and lower lows, but stress is one of them. And we know now there's so much research about what chronic stress can do to the physical body, the emotional body. And this is something that's very present in adolescence and we need to be aware of and try to help manage. Okay, this is just a little bit of a side note, but notice that I said that the brain chemistry makes them more susceptible to all chemicals and hormones. This includes drugs and alcohol. So when an adolescent takes in drugs or alcohol into their system, they will feel the effects of those chemicals in a larger way as well. So this is good to keep note of, adolescents, and tread lightly. All right, let's move on and talk about danger. So this one is just striking and so important to know about. We already know adolescents seek novelty, rewards, they enjoy taking risks, and this is the same thing. That amygdala is fully mature. The amygdala wants us to do all of these things. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that says, hold on, let's think about that. I'm not sure that's a good idea, but that's not present. So adolescents feel this urge to take big risks, and they tend to just go with that. This is where danger comes in, because they just want to take a risk. They want novelty. They want sort of reward from the peer group. They will sometimes make poor decisions. Some of these poor decisions are dangerous decisions. And this is what we see. And now I included this quotation from the book, The Power of the Adolescent Brain. This comes straight from page 21. It was so powerful, I wanted to include it as a quotation. Adolescents are generally stronger and healthier than people of any other age group, yet they face a 200% greater chance of dying than do children. They are healthier, but they have a 200% chance greater of dying than children. This is because they want risk, they want reward, and they are making poor decisions, dangerous decisions because of this. Let's get maybe something positive to end with here. Creativity. Okay, I love this part. As a teacher of adolescents, this was my favorite thing about these students, adolescents, because they don't have the prefrontal cortex, which is reasoning skills, which is practicality, executive functioning. And if we think about it, all of these skills are what create the boxes that we live in as adults, right? We say, here are the rules, here are the guidelines of safe daily life. I will follow these rules, I will stay inside the box in order to survive as an adult. Adolescents do not have any of those. They do not have any boxes inside their minds. They do not have well-established safety rules. So because of this, they don't know there's a box. They need to stay inside. They will think very creatively. An adolescent brain is definitely a wacky thing to live with. Because of the changes taking place, adolescents are more susceptible to stress, even when as adults, we don't really think they should be that stressed. They will be. In addition, they have this drive for thrill seeking and reward seeking. And remember, this is because the amygdala is fully mature and it's what drives these behaviors, while the prefrontal cortex is just not there yet. So they are at a higher risk of physical danger because the decisions they make are not being filtered adequately through the reasoning center of the brain. Okay, now on the flip side, creativity will never be this way again. This is something to harness if you're an adolescent or a parent or a teacher. This is an amazing thing to know, that they will create things that you've never even thought of before. They will think outside of the box. In fact, they don't even know there is a box. So this is the silver lining of all of the craziness happening in that adolescent brain. And all of this together is simply knowledge. All right, knowledge is power, and the more we know, the more aware we are of why teenagers or adolescents are acting the way they do, the better we are able to handle it if we are an adolescent, or to manage it if we are maybe a parent, a teacher, or a school. So let's keep learning.